So you have to like kind of like play it in front of an audience and figure out like, you know, they'll tell you whether or not it's a good song. So I get on stage and, you know, I ramble, I intro it a little bit. The response was just like overwhelmingly yes. And so that was it. I took the song and I was like, all right, let's make this happen. Hi, I'm Phillip-Michael Scales, and this is my breakdown of Oh Hallelujah. I think I still have the voice mode. See if I can find it. Good deal. Pick it up. I think I was on my way to Target. Cause a girl like you would have eaten me alive. They don't sound very pretty. So I didn't even want to write the song Hallelujah, if I'm honest. I was like, there's so many songs called Hallelujah. Leonard Cohen's got that brilliant song called Hallelujah. And there was just nothing else that would fit in that like flow. So I was like, all right, damn it, I'll write the song. I had been on a date with this girl, I think it was like a third date or something, and we had realized that we were living in the same city in two different cities, and we'd never met. And I realized that had we met then, it's nice to have figured that out sort of before you bring this other person in, just like ready. I guess that's what the song's about. It's about being ready for the right person. So this guy named Griffin produced this track, Griffin Kenna, and man, he's a beast. We just like met up for coffee one day, and I gave him the song. I was like, hey man, I wrote this 2 days ago, and he was just like, cool, let's check it out. We just like went in on a couple sessions, and the song was kind of done. I wanted that like intro thing to sound like a blues sample. Like I wanted it to sound like, I don't know, I wanted it to sound like a dusty record when it started. I hope it came across. Oh, hallelujah. And then the wizards behind the desk were just like made it into something that sounded like a dusty sample. Every single day. I love them for it. I love you guys. Nicky Morgan. Man, I was in the studio and I was like, man, this would sound really cool with like a female vocal on it. And I had just hung out with Nikki like a couple days before, and I was like, yo, I know exactly who to call. And I called her and I was like, yo, Nikki, you want to sing on this thing? She's like, yeah, I'll come sing, whatever. And so like she comes down and just murders it in like 3 takes. And I was like, at the end, I was like, hey, why don't you just like kind of do your own thing at the end? She's like, just riff. And then she did that like, and like just added all that like atmosphere. And I was like, man, you are so talented. So if you haven't checked out Nicky Morgan, make sure you go and check her out. She is a bomb diggity and my Chicago kid sister, and I love her to death. Now I can see you. Who just came out of a recording studio?
Oh,
This girl. Who just fell down the steps? Ooh. Thank God you were on the coast when I was searching for the man you know. I was reckless, selfish, scared. I broke things I can't repair. Yeah, that line was just like, whew. There's a lot of learning on the job you do when you're dating. You look back on some relationships and you're like, not bad. And then you're grateful that like the great people you've met after that didn't have to meet that person. The lion and the ram reference was actually astrology. Like it's like fiery personalities that like could have and in the past have burnt relationships to the ground. And Sagittarius doesn't rhyme with anything, so that's why there's like, there must have been some cosmic plan for this lion and this ram. The line tempers temper over time was just sort of this fun play on words that you get to use. I think those are like little like bonus points. I don't know, like when you're writing a song, it's like a little puzzle and then it's like tempers temper and you're like, yeah, bonus point. Bing, bing. So the bridge, I just wanted to feel like a complete suspension of like anything. I wanted it to feel like that Romeo and Juliet scene when they're like in the fish tank with their faces and they like are just kind of singing. There's like video and I just did like, oh, and then we cleaned it up so it doesn't sound like that, and we put it in the song, and it just kind of created this like gospel-y, heavenly reveal, taking out all like the timing and all that stuff, and I don't know, it was really fun. The video was crazy because I was in Chicago at the time, and I had a buddy who lives in Detroit, and he had shot like the promo pictures. He actually shot the cover of the Hallelujah, like with me in front of the church and stuff. And so I was like, hey man, just out of curiosity, would there ever be a way that like we might be able to make a video for it? And he's like, what does Tuesday look like for you? I was like, it's Sunday, but I could go to Detroit. And so I drove over to Detroit. I was like kind of nervous going into it, but like I showed up, and you know, he had a DP, he had like all these different people working on the shoot, and like we like had pizza and beer that we like lured our friends in, and I think there might be like 7 extras in the entirety of that video. We just took really tight shots and made it look like a whole bunch of people. And actually the director's playing bass in the video. You can see him like rocking out. You see one of my best friends, Pat, in the video at the bar. My other friend fell asleep. That's right, Matt, you fell asleep. So I think like start to finish on the video was like, I think we shot at 5 and wrapped at 11. And the craziest thing was that I went to sleep, and then I started driving back to Nashville. I get an email at like 3 o'clock, and it's the director, and he's just like, hey man, here's your first cut. And I think I made like 1 change or like 1 adjustment. I don't know how many hours are between 11 to 3. I don't do math, I sing songs. But the video was done, and I watched it, and it was incredible. There was just like something magic about the whole process of it. Like I wrote it and it just like fell out. It was like an hour. I, you know, recorded it and like immediately got it done in like a week or 2. And then the video got shot in like under 24 hours, like shot and finished in under 24 hours. So there's definitely something like about this song that like feels very like in the groove of life, I guess. If you haven't listened, go listen to Oh Hallelujah. It'll change your life. Change mine. This happened, that's the truth.